good evening and welcome to the WLBC Center for game number 53, featuring Australia and Ireland. At this time, if you are able to, we ask that you please rise and kindly remove your caps for the playing of the Australian national anthem. Fans, please continue to stand for the playing of Ireland's national anthem.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back inside the Adirondack Bank Center for Stephen and myself, Mackie Jenner's third game of the day. We've been treated to two dandies already and expecting a third as Ireland will take on Australia here in our third play-in game this evening. Stephen, what are we kind of looking at, how these two teams get here?
Well, Ireland finishing on top of their division, sweeping their 3 games, a 7-5 win over Germany, and then big wins, 24-4 over China and 17-5 over Poland, which gave them a bye through. They just squeaked into one of the bye spots by, think about a goal. Australia, on the other hand, they did win their 3 games, 17-12 over Puerto Rico, 14-11 over Slovakia, and 29-8 over Hungary. They had to do a play-in to the play-in, and they won that one 21-7 over Scotland. We've seen the two teams that had to do the play-in, initial play-in game, both lose, both kind of fall a bit short in the fourth quarter. So we'll see how that affects Australia in this one.
Yeah, we often talk about being able to put together a full 60 minutes. Some teams come streaking out hot early on in this game, and then, we've seen them kind of just dig themselves too big of a hole. Now, I've got to watch this Australia team. Very impressed with the Wood brothers wearing number 4 and 5. 11 goals for Lucas, 13 for Matt, and just their offense just putting up so many big numbers. And then on the Ireland side, Gillis with 13 and 9 in his games. Corbett 9 and 3, Foley 9 and 2. Just so much impressive stuff going on that end as well.
Mm-hmm. And, this is obviously a couple of teams that have put up quite a few goals. Australia with a high of 29, another game with 17, another game with 21. Ireland 24 and 17 after that really defensive battle for the first game of the entire tournament, 7-5 over Germany. So you never know which way it can go. And we've talked about, who has the edge, the team that has the game off or the team that's been battle tested. Again, we saw the Czech Republic kind of struggle in their last game when they hadn't been tested at all. Now, that 7-5 game against Germany was a big test for the Irish.
Oh, absolutely. And again, it's kind of getting those small little wins off early on, but now we get a look at our Irish goaltender. in Devlin Shanahan. Very familiar name to us in the booth there. And then on the other side for the Aussies, it will be Colin Jeffrey. So two experienced goaltenders, a lot of stuff under their belt. Obviously Shanahan, NLL experience. Jeffrey's kind of been a floater for a few teams in the NLL as well. So both of these guys coming in kind of looking to be brick walls in between the pipes for these two.
And that's a dueling 33s situation, and both of them playing in the WLA. Both of them spending time in Nanaimo. The Devlin Shanahan was out there this summer, and Jeffrey from that area. So we'll see a big battle between these two, and that's going to be huge because both of these teams, as we mentioned, can score. And it'll be fascinating to see because there is in the pool play, they both had pools where they're able to handle much of their competition fairly easily, but well, certainly more so for Ireland as the Australians had Puerto Rico, a tough match, and a really close game, a 3-goal win over Slovakia.
Yeah, again, these tight games are often kind of testing to be true to really kind of push these teams. Again, we talked about it in the last game how Czech Republic weren't really tested too much in their pool until that last game with Germany, and then again able to kind of separate. But nonetheless, we are excited to get going here for our last game this afternoon. We've been here all day long. So much great lacrosse happening. But without further ado, Nathan Bell lines up with Michael McDonald at the face-off circle. And here we go. McDonald able to pick that one up for Ireland going into the near side corners. Flips that one back up to the top. Now Foley with it on the near side. Trying to get around his defender. Flips it back up to the top. They'll play a bit of back and forth pass. Foley gets around that pick, sends it over to the left side. Goes underneath is Brosnan. Gets a step there, a shot blocked by a defender though for Australia.
So no chance for Colin Jeffrey to make his first save. And I know goalies love to have their defenders block shots, but they also like to feel a shot pretty early on.
Hockey now looking for a flip pass. A bit of a bobbled pass there, though. Too much heat on it as that will be a turnover. And now Ireland gets another chance to maybe get their first shot on net here. O'Sullivan. Still with it, carrying for the righties. Sends it back to the left side with Brosnan. Working on that two-man game side on the left. A cut inside there, a shot, but a great save there. And he gets his first test, but a rebound as the Aussies will come away with it in front of the crease.
They had about a 4-2 advantage in players there as most of the Irish had headed off to the bench, which is a wise play, but when there is that loose ball free, it's pretty tricky to get it.
Armbots is with it now, sends it over to that right side in Chris Plum. Winning. We know what he can do on the offensive side. Now to Wood. Steps into a shot there. First tried to get that put back there. Shanahan aggressive out of his crease. And Ireland able to come away with it, heading the other way.
And that's nothing new for Shanahan coming out of the crease. We see him running out to get involved in the play fairly often. Doesn't usually come back to bite him. He's pretty wise about it.
Adding to their loaded defense already. Kelly sends it over to the left side. Surveys back over. Takes a shot there. A great save from Jeffrey. Rebound attempt there. Another quick shot. But the Australian netminder coming up big for 2 in a row.
This is a rematch of a semifinal for the 9th through 12th place in the last World Lacrosse Box Championship. Australia won that one 17-11 and then went on to get 9th place. So you know that the Irish are looking to crank it up.
As Winnan does crank that one from way outside to put Australia up 1-0 early on here.
And Jesse Winnan's been doing this all tournament long. He has a dozen goals, a dozen assists coming in, and they just give him some space. And boy, that's, again, we've talked about Caitlin Clark range. That's not quite there, but that is downtown for Jesse Winnan.
An absolutely great outside shot from Winnan fairly early on here. They haven't gotten too many shots on goal, so a great way to start out for the Aussie offense as they'll pick that one up off the faceoff. Landell's trying to find it off the boards here. Jeffrey offering some release and quick to fire that one up, but instead it bounces up top. Not really sure he knew that how much heat he had on that pass.
Yeah, I think it was the 10-second count he was worried about, so wanted to get rid of it, but that was on its way ascending when it hit the ceiling.
Oh, yeah. O'Sullivan swings it back top to Corbett. He'll play pass and forth on this right side. Winds up for a shot there, just goes wide. Back over, delayed penalty now being called as Jeffrey swallows that one up.
So we'll see the first power play of the game going to the Irish, who trail 1-0. It's going to be a illegal cross-check. And we've talked a lot through the course of the week, all of us, about some of the family connections. And, of course, Jesse Winnan, playing for Australia, is the brother of Charlotte Winnan, who plays for the Australian women's team.
It's so awesome to see so many family connections coming across. Again, the Wood brothers, on this Australia team as well. So many sibling duos here. Now we'll get a look at this Irish power play. Back up to the top, an outside shot there, again swallowed up by Jeffrey.
They're going to take their time getting forward, but you can see the Aussies looking. Is there a lane? They might just go even shorthanded.
Yeah, we've seen them do it a few times. Again, they like to run, so look out for that as Matt Wood now heavily defended here by Shea. Now brother Wood coming in, tries that overhand shot, and I'm going to correct myself here as Shea actually has Flanagan on the back of his jersey, but I've got Shea, so I'm going to make
Mike
that.
Shea is number 56.
Yeah, that 56 jersey has Flanagan on the back, so I just want to make sure I'm getting my bearings here.
Interesting.
Yeah. Nonetheless, back to work here for the power play unit, under a minute to go. Swings over to the right side, trying to get active here. Big shot there, another great save, but a repossession as they'll go up to Coppinger. Back over to the righties, Corbett. Now on the left side, wrong pipe there, but another repossessed ball. Big shot from O'Sullivan, and it bounces off the netminder and out of play. So again, another repossession for their power play unit as they've got 26 to go.
That's a long time for a penalty kill team to be out there trying to deal with this.
Playing pass around the perimeter. Trying to find an option there. Blocked pass, but picked up there, a bouncer into the stick of Jeffrey, and here comes the Aussies.
And it's huge D for the Australians. We mentioned, it doesn't look necessarily like they're doing a lot on the penalty kill, but you're constantly back and forth. There is a ton of activity on that penalty kill, so good for them to get that ball eventually.
And a successful penalty kill unit at that as we return to 5-on-5 action. Now the Wood brothers going to work on this left side. Matt Wood sends it over to Winnan. Gets underneath there. Just misses as a loose ball now going behind the net. Winnan trying to pick that one up. Another delayed penalty coming here towards the Irish. So now we will see the Aussie power play unit.
Check from behind coming on Kieran Costello. We'll see it come up just as he's chasing along the boards right there. No. Oh, yeah, it was the high referee, saw that one. And, yeah, you get up on the numbers, especially along the boards. They're going to be pretty careful.
Tyler Reynolds sets this power play unit up over to Lucas Wood. Aaron Batsy's now with it. Back to Winnan. Reynolds. Armbatsis now back to Winnan. Lets that one fly. A good test for Shanahan, but he comes out with that save. Now the Irish will go the other way. Trying to find some relief there as big pressure coming from the Australians, and a big outside shot off the bench was Connor Kelly.
And Jeffrey pouncing out on it. We've seen him move pretty quickly. It's amazing, some of these big guys in net with the gear on, how well they can move, cat-like.
Yeah, he is a tall fellow, and so to be able to kind of be so agile, very important for this Australian netminder. Now Reynolds sets things up again, waits for the rest of the power play unit to get on. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Aaron Batsis Winnan. Playing pass back and forth there, and Batsis steps into that one. Another stick save for Shanahan.
And Shea was way out on Winnan as they made that play. And that is odd with the Flanagan. I know a lot of them have the Gaelic or Irish spellings of the names, but it's usually for him just O'Shea.
Well, there you go. It's easier for me.
There you go.
Now O'Sullivan. Still trying to kill this. 30 seconds remaining on their penalty kill. 5 on the shot clock, though, looking to kind of get something on target, and they do not. So Landell's looking to send that one over the floor to Dennis, a great stay-at-home defender for the Australians.
And they'll definitely pull up and let the power play set up with not much of an opportunity to run there.
Armbatsis sends it over to Winnan again, who will wind up there and picks that corner. That's coming from all the way down under.
Wow. Jesse Winnan, he of the glorious beard. That is very close to where he was last time. A little bit tighter into the net. Yeah, actually, he takes those 4 or 5 little steps and gets a fair bit closer, but exact same result for Jesse Winnan, who is just a rocket launcher from the top.
Oh, yeah, 2 straight for Winnan. Just a great start for number 2. Now Templeton comes up with the loose ball over to Hockey. Waits for the rest of his offense to get onto the floor. Finds some relief in Wood. Now back over to that right side where we've seen both goals come from. This man himself starting to feel it a little bit, but maybe an undisciplined shot there, but Wood able to collect.
That one actually was from the restraining line.
Yeah. And oh my goodness, Chris Plum came out of nowhere with that one.
The right side for the Australians just lighting it up here as they are coming out to a quick start after Winnan had ripped that one. That, again, is very close to where Winnan was on his 2 shots over that righty shooter spot. He really pulls it back across the body, and I think they've got Shanahan going to his left.
Yeah, I mean, you saw Plum in that replay there on that far side really calling for the ball. He knew that he had the time and room to step into that one, and boy, did he ever, as that one goes out of play. So the Irish, but just like that, we're already at our first media timeout. The Aussies up 3-0 over Ireland. We will be right back. You're watching the World Lacrosse Box Championships.
We honor our Indigenous roots and international history. Lacrosse is more than a game. We play with speed, heart, and precision. Young, modern, electric, inclusive, growing across the globe. Lacrosse is everyone's sport, governed globally by World Lacrosse.
It's your turn to be the spin doctor, the game changer, and the hit maker. Because with all the award-winning gaming, dining, and entertainment Turning Stone has to offer, you can be whoever you want to be, especially when you want to be out with your crew. Turning Stone Resort Casino. It's your turn.
And out of the media timeout, the Aussies lead 3-0 over Ireland. And we knew that this Australian offense was going to come out firing, but man, what a start for them early in this one.
Yeah, I mean, 3 goals in 8 minutes and 13 seconds, and all from very similar spot. I don't know if that was the scout that they had on the Irish and Devlin Shanahan, but certainly not what the Irish were hoping for. And, you know, we've seen, like we said, some low-scoring games, but both these teams we know can score quite a bit.
Yes, often their goals do come in bunches, so we'll see how the Irish respond. Tried to find a man on the doorstep there, unable to do so. They'll go right back to him, though. That one blocked by a defender. McDonald swings it back over to the right side, trying to find some help here. Was Copinger back over to Gillis. And another reset of that shot clock. So the Irish offense trying so hard to find these 50-50 balls and wear down this defense. O'Gorman gets around his defender, sends it back over to the left side. A shot there, but another big stop for Jeffrey.
And so far, Jeffrey is right on top of everything, looking very comfortable with the shots that he's seeing and very confident that he's got control of what's going on.
Bit too much heat on that pass as that one bounces up and over into the netting. So O'Gorman eyeing up his defender, flips it up to Farrell. Farrell carries it over and now flips it right back to Corbett. O'Sullivan tried to find a man streaking over the center. Gillis battling for it, picks it up. Still trying to find something as the shot clock winding down. Gonna need to go here. And just too late as this Australian defense sent in the pressure.
Yeah, they really are, including the veteran. Oh, no, I was going to say, I thought Keith Nyberg was out for that shift. He may not be dressed in this game, as he is another one. We've talked about some of the players who have played a ton of World Lacrosse Box Championships and Field Championships. He is also up in the double digits.
Just fabulous stuff from these guys, playing so many years. And here comes Winnan, who's got a pair. Flips it over to Wood. Back up the top to Plum, the latest goal scorer for the Aussies. Couldn't quite hold on to that pass. 50-50 ball into the near boards, and here come the Irish. Foley, all himself, but another big stop.
And some really good trail check pressure by Marcus Aaron Batsos on the back check. But Foley just fought through that and still got a pretty good shot off. That is some terrific effort on the offensive end.
Plum with it now back to Armbatsis, who had that great trail check effort, as you mentioned. Wood swings it back over to that right side, back to Armbatsis. Tried to find Reynolds streaking through the middle. Ball still loose as the defender loses his stick there and maybe working in the favor of Wood.
And the forecheck pressure from Jesse Winnan, the captain, not just a shooter.
Now showing he can do it all here early on. Call Wood screaming for the ball here. Plum behind the back pass. Now Wood will find it. Tries to get a step over his defender. A bouncer just too high. Goes over, so the Irish will pick it up. O'Gorman. Now O'Sullivan with it on the near side boards. Late man coming on, finds streaking through the middle there. And another good look, but just can't quite finish.
Yeah, and sometimes when the goalie comes out hot, you have a team starts getting a little feeling they have to be too precise. You got to just keep with your game, keep shooting, keep taking the shots you're used to.
Yeah, shoot till you're hot is what some may say. And the Irish starting to kind of do that. Armbots is now with it for the Aussies. Now flips it back up to the top. Anson Carter will rip one from that same kind of spot, but this time Shanahan able to collect.
And Carter going low where all the others were high. So maybe they were employing the strategy we talked about last game where all the shots were high early and then you switch it up. Might have been a bit early. Maybe a few more high ones first.
Exactly. On that far side now streaking across. Just couldn't quite hang on was Kelly. But a good look, kind of that cross crease look.
It was right there, and that would have been probably the best chance the Irish have had yet.
Again, Jeffrey kind of just overthrowing that look in transition. So now the Irish, with under 3 to go, will have an opportunity here on offense.
And again, at the other end, Shanahan taking off into the corner to go out and play the ball and working out just fine.
Has no fear going out there as Corbett now with it. Swings it back to the lefties. Brosnan goes back right to him, and it stayed out. I don't know how that one didn't get past Jeffrey.
Posted off the back of Jeffrey and then just to the side. So many times you see that one going back in off the goalie. He was kind of spinning, and luckily for him, he was turned away from the net again a little bit.
Back to Winnan in that spot he loves so much. One-handed rebound, and what a stop from Shanahan. Winnan able to kind of add that forecheck, as you said. Now here comes the Aussies once again, but another big-time stop from the netminder.
They're going for that top left corner they've been so successful at, but Shanahan this time throws the shoulder up.
Winnan steps into that one once again. 3 consecutive saves from Shanahan. My goodness.
I don't know how goaltenders split and bend like that.
Oh, gosh, yeah. My back would, no, not for me.
No.
Here come the Irish. Stepping into that one. Lots of time left on that shot clock, though. A little bit of a quick shot from the Irish.
Not a bad look, though, and you feel like the Irish are getting some better chances. If they can get one, oftentimes that will open the floodgates a bit.
Yeah, all you need is their first. A little bit of water off a duck's back if they can kind of figure this one out here. Winning now on that top right spot where he's found success. Wood back into the middle. Reynolds lets that one fly for his first.
And that one is low, squeezes it down. Looks like it may have gone 5-hole, and Reynolds, one of the younger members of this club. And you can see him just popping through the middle, and that's just too much space to give him. Nobody really on him. He had Nicholas D'Amico, the closest defender, and they just never got up onto his hands.
No, so important to get out into these Australians' hands to limit some of their shots towards the goal there, but nonetheless a great effort. And the Aussies 4 straight to start this first quarter as time is ticking down with 1 minute to go here in the opening frame. Parsons flips that one to Winnan, and he kind of has that hit shot, but a great defensive set there from O'Gorman. Now here come the Irish all alone with Smith, but he saw all those Australian jerseys swarming towards him. Now Shea flips it back to the top. Gonna have to go quickly. Gillis, 15 to shoot. Taking it underneath, flips it back up to the top for Brosnan. Could not finish.
Heads up play by Jeffrey not to pick that ball up immediately, just because it was right around the 30-second mark. Now they can get him to the bench without worrying about there being some time for the Irish at the end.
Yeah, definitely a heads up play by the goaltender here. Now we'll go 6 on 5, 15 remaining in this opening quarter. Matt Wood sends it back to Winnan. Wood trying to find an opening. Armbautsis needs a shot here for Winnan. And that will do it for the opening quarter of action. The Aussies off to a hot start, 4-0 over the Irish. We will be right back on ESPN Plus. You're watching the World Lacrosse Box Championships.
Never miss a minute of action with WLTV, the official streaming platform for the 2024 World Lacrosse Box Championships. View both live and past games by visiting tv.worldlacrosse.sport to sign today. Fans, before going home this evening, don't forget to check out all of our vendors located in the arena concourse, and also all of our vendors also located in the Nexus Center on level 2.
Back inside the Adirondack Bank Center for quarter 2 action here in the play-in game between the Irish and the Australians. But, Stephen, a very hot start for the Aussies out the gate.
Yeah, they've been scoring very well on their shots, and they actually were outshot by the Irish 13-12 in the period. But Devlin Shanahan in that quarter making just, saves on on 2/3 of the shots he's faced. They were great shots, although from downtown. Shanahan is starting to sharpen up, and I would imagine he's going to play way better than that the rest of the way.
Yeah, we will have to see if the Irish defense kind of makes those adjustments on those shots, as we saw kind of those opening 3 goals coming from the same area. But now Landell's trying to find some help. Hockey. It's like, get the ball out of my stick. I need a change.
He was only 3 steps from the bench, so he
exactly.
just had to get rid of it, and he was good.
Plum with 8 to shoot. Gets his hands free, and that one bounces off the hip, and a big collision into the boards there, but I think he kind of ended up there on his own.
Similar shot to what Plum scored on the run.
Now here come the Irish. Thought they had an advantage there. Gillis. Back up at the top, and he'll flip back to Gillis. Sends it into the middle, bouncer, that one goes. Patrick Corbett, finally an answer for the Irish.
Corbett coming in with 9 goals and 3 assists, and that is a huge one to add as they finally break that deadlock, and just nice little twister, and Corbett is so slick on top of the crease.
Yeah, a great cut and finish just under a minute into quarter 2 action, so I'm sure the coaching staff happy with that quick start. A very clean face-off win here as Templeton picks it up. Bell, so good on the face-off for Australia, and Templeton, a speedy little defender out of the back end, often picks up those ones. Now here comes the Aussies. Reynolds gets underneath his defender. One extra pass there, but a great cross-crease save for Shanahan.
Yeah, and like we said, he's definitely feeling more comfortable now. You can see him kind of getting dialed in after letting those first couple in, and that bodes very well for the Irish trying to creep back into this.
O'Sullivan finds a man coming off the bench trying to get the righties to go to work, but instead they'll go back to Farrell. Trying to find some help was Gillis. Steps into that shot. That one just goes wide.
And Australia's taking a look to run here. Pretty nice job by the Irish, though, to get their defenders out on the floor.
Yeah, it's good to see them kind of hustling back to the bench in order to get them on again, that long change for their defense. So you don't want to let anything go for free in transition. Armbots is now on that left side. Tried to find Reynolds creeping in. Winnan instead will take it under the alley. He goes 5-hole. Winnan, have yourself a first half hat trick.
Yeah, Jesse Winnan is just so dangerous, and we've seen obviously what he can do from the outside, and now we're going to see him ducking underneath, gets underneath Seamus Shanahan, who has some pretty good pressure on him, but Winnan just pulls it in and is right on top. We talked about Corbett being slick on the crease. Winnan is slick basically anywhere he's got the ball.
Indeed, he is. The Aussies love when their captain has the ball in his stick, as they know he can put it in the back of the net. Now Templeton shifting over his defenders, trying to keep it on their side. But good pressure as Carter able to kind of find some relief there. But a lot of pressure coming from the Irish. Now Armbots is on that left side again. Reynolds has time and space if he wants it. Steps into that shot, but a great save from Shanahan once again. Loose ball battle into the corner. Reynolds collects that rebound, sends it over to Armbots. Back over to Reynolds. Plum. Wood and Armbots now trying to find some cutters. Plum bobbles that pass. Heavy pressure coming from the Irish. And a great takeaway. Plum almost tried to find it out of the crease. A big pass up the middle to McDonald. But there it is, the 10-second violation, and the pressure was on from the Aussies.
And Ireland may have got a little lucky on that play because they had Reynolds pop in the middle, much like the one play earlier where someone just popped into the middle and nobody was on them.
Winnan under again, tried to go for that top corner. Wood able to collect that rebound off the boards there, but a great dodge from Winnan. Finds Armbots alone in the middle. Still battling for it in front of the crease here. Irish desperate to pick that one up, but ran right into some trouble. As again, this Australian forecheck comes away with it once again, able to keep it in. What a great effort there on that far side from Wood.
This has been quite a stretch of keeping the ball in the offensive zone, which is so tiring for a defense. Let's look for Australia or Ireland next time they get into the offensive zone to try and take some time.
Now Reynolds Flip pass there, just brushes the shoulder of Shanahan, and once again, Aussies come up with it. The Wood brothers now going to work on that left side. Ran into each other there. Again, that one bounces off the leg pad of Shanahan and out, so another possession here for the Aussies.
It just feels like the Aussies have spent the entire quarter in the Irish zone.
Winning. Takes it inside alone, sends it back over to Wood. Couldn't quite hold on, but able to collect eventually. Matt Wood sends it over back to Plum. Battling for it in the corner. Plum flips it up, and Reynolds once again earns another reset. Almost seen 2 minutes of offense for the Aussies, winning. Carter now comes on as they've only got one lefty on the floor. Aaron Botsis look for a little isolation play. Back to the righties. He'll let that one go as Plum. But again, collected. Aaron Botsis with 5 to shoot. Lets that one fly. And that one goes up and over. And finally, the Irish will get the ball.
And they'll step over center, and Luke Maloney is going to wait for someone to come in and take it. And then let's see if Ireland does try to use some time here and let their defenders catch their breath.
Brosnan swims over his defender. Back to Gillis. Now working from that right side, taken underneath is O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan tried that cross crease. Gillis back into the middle there. O'Sullivan with a little twister, but another big stop for Jeffrey.
Very similar shot to the one that Corbett scored on, but a little further out, and Jeffrey was prepared for that one.
Landos now brings that one over center. Finds Armbatsis. Now down to Wood. Winning, grinding in that middle. Lets one go. Shanahan all over that one. Here come the Irish. They collect, but a great stop. And that's a big one for Jeffrey.
And all kinds of speed there for Foley, and then the check on the back actually helped him drive towards the net.
Yeah, gave him a little boost.
Yep. The turbo.
There you go. Back down in the corner. Again, the Wood brothers working at it. 7 to shoot. Winning. Flips it back up to Plum. Finds a man coming on the inside. Matt Wood, but intercepted and taken away there from Dan Gorman. And look out as Luke Maloney throwing bodies around. And the Irish fans loving that one. Gillis flips that one back up to the top. Farrell, what a great save. And here comes Australia, but Jeffrey, a little bit too much heat on those outlet passes. We've seen them kind of overthrown a few times here now.
He just needs to recalibrate his passing. It's like he's got the gun dialed up a little high.
Little flip pass inside there. Patrick Corbett. Another one for 42.
Yeah, his second of the game, second for the Irish, and he shows them how it's done. We saw the one play like this, similar shot, and Corbett just finding his spot, and that is such a goal scorer's play. The shot is nice, but just finding the exact spot in the defense where he'd be open.
Yeah, again, we saw that on the first one. He's just able to really streak all the way down from that top side and comes all the way around the crease. It's great when you're able to finish that shot across, so you're continuing to move the goalie with you. Battling forward in the corner. Finally, Foley flips that one up. Smith.
That's 2 of the last 3 goals for Ireland, so you can feel a bit of momentum swing towards their direction, the white jerseys with the green trim.
Another shot there. Rebound collected. Corbett tried to go for his hat trick. Now Templeton. We know he can run, but he'll elect to swing that over to the rest of the offense. Chris Plum. Back to Plum, swings that over to Armbatsis. Carter trying to find that little sneak pass inside to Plum.
Well, good job to hold up. That would have definitely been a delay of game there had he let that one rip Anson Carter.
And our second media timeout came quickly, so we will be right back after this short break.
In 2001, AIS set out with a vision to secure the future of cyberspace, empowering businesses, citizens, and our country to thrive in a connected world. Every day, our experts advance cybersecurity for areas like AI, healthcare, and autonomous transportation, delivering on our promise of a secure future. Discover how AIS can support you, and if our promise inspires you, join our team. Advance your mission with AIS.
Hey, fans. For all the up-to-the-minute news on the UFX, go to the official website of Urban Fitness Extreme at ufxpro.com. Keep up with all your favorite teams and athletes. Get your tickets for upcoming events and check out our broadcast schedule. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at UFX League for behind-the-scenes access and exclusive content. Visit ufxpro.com and follow us today.
7 minutes even is the time remaining here in this first half. Australia still a 5-2 lead, but Stephen, we've kind of seen a bit of a shift in momentum as Ireland has really come out hot this second quarter.
They have been putting some pressure on, get a couple of goals, but the Australians, I think it's interesting. They played a couple of exhibition games against Arena Lacrosse League All-Star teams in Brampton just before the World Lacrosse Box Championships, and they felt that really helped them, especially because they played some very good teams in those Arena League games. Both lost both of those games, but they felt like it just reinforced to them that their systems work when they're sticking to them.
Well, exactly, and it's all about being pushed and being challenged. But here comes the Irish offense. Gillis swings that over to the right side. Corbett will wind one on target there. A little of a bobble, but Templeton able to come up with it. Dennis.
Yeah, I was going to say they're looking to run again.
Dennis will elect to slow things down a little bit, but you're right. As that short change bench, they're kind of looking to push and transition a little bit more. Reynolds back to Winnan. Oh, he tucks underneath his defender. Tries to go over the top and runs into the crease there as we're going to get a delayed penalty here.
It's interference. It was the call on Winnan. It must be interference. If it's interference call, it's got to be Winnan.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he made contact with Shanahan or not, but they're going to send Winnan to the bench for 2. We'll get another look at it here. So he just tucks underneath.
Yeah, there wasn't much contact with him, but he also didn't make much contact with Shanahan. It looked to me like he was trying to avoid him, and Shanahan actually I thought was pretty sportsmanlike. He did step out of the way.
Yeah.
So sportsmanlike or self-preservation.
Yeah, exactly. Take your pick. Now here comes the Irish power play. Once again, unsuccessful on their first one. Tucks inside there, Gillis.
And Jeffrey opts for the short pass since he's been airmailing a lot of the longer ones.
Yeah, definitely some self-reflection done by Jeffrey to understand that as Lindels takes it all alone. Spins around his defender, gets to the front of the goal, but a good stop.
Yeah, Shanahan with a good save on that, and I think he's looking at his defenders and saying, guys, you're allowed to check him. You don't have to let him just run the length of the floor, spin past you, and get that naked look on top of the crease.
Oh, yeah, he walked all the way in. 1:20 remaining here on the power play. Gillis, right back over to Corbett. Corbett at the top, a little quick stick pass there, shot from O'Sullivan. Still battling for it. Finally, Gillis able to come up with it. Back to O'Sullivan, but they've got a reset. Gillis, he'll wind one up there, tried to go for that corner. O'Sullivan the rebound, back to Gillis. A good stop.
And again, the short pass by Jeffrey, and he'll let them run it ahead while they're shorthanded.
Dennis again carrying that one over center, flips it up to Reynolds.
Winner of this game has the unenviable but delightful task of playing the United States in the quarterfinals tomorrow at 7 p.m. Tall order, but you know it's the type of challenge these teams are hoping to get.
Absolutely. Taking advantage of every opportunity they're given here as a shot on target, but picked up by McDonald. 5 remaining on the penalty going to Winnan. So a successful penalty kill from the Australians once again. Winnan caught on defense though, so see if they can kind of find a matchup there. O'Sullivan cranks that one, but goes into the stick of Mullins. Mullins trying to push, but realizes he's got no help on his side, so he just flips it to Winnan. .15 on the shot clock. Aaron Batsies will wind up at another good save from the leg pad of Shanahan. Now Corbett comes away with it as he was also caught on defense. The assistant captain taking it all alone, but a great last second effort from Winnan, and now he can go the other way. One to beat. Winnan. Good pick set there. Shanahan is Winnan a little ginger to get up.
Jamison Stahl just leveled him as Winnan was taking that shot, fully extended with the arms out as he fired that. Jamison Stahl, you'll see it coming right here. It's actually fairly well after the shot. The official was looking right at the crease.
Winnan able to get to his feet on his own, so good to see that happen, but definitely having some words with the officials as he's walking back towards the bench. As you're right, that did kind of come afterwards.
First half really flying by.
Oh yeah, only 3:20 remaining here in the opening half. Working on the inside, tried to find O'Sullivan, who only had one hand on his stick. Able to find it. Now he'll come around the crease. Swings it back to Gillis. Gillis trying to find some help as his helmet came a little loose there. Back over to that right side. Kelly trying to find something, but suffocated by this Australian defense.
Yeah, the Australians just a wave of green all over them, and you can see he lost his stick and was knocked to the turf as he was trying to get that shot off.
Now the Aussies go back to the offensive side as Wood winds up over and back violation, as there was still some time on that shot clock, but I guess he kind of liked what he saw maybe.
Yeah, and again, when you've only got a couple of goals, or when you have this lead, maybe you're feeling like you're juiced up. You're like, hey, we can add to this. Why not take a shot if we like the looks of it?
Corbett will start with it in the crease. Finds Brosnan now over to the left side. Gillis. Back to Corbett, walks in, gets a step on his defender. Good defense there from Landals.
Really had to fight through the check.
There's a shot there from Corbett, who's itching for another. A shot there, but a delayed penalty for a slash.
And the rare occasion where the player doesn't put up even a remote argument, he knows he did it. He just heads off to the bench. So with 2:05 to go in the first half, it's going to give Ireland a chance to close down this. And the Australians have really felt like they've had a good sense of control over this game, but a goal here late in the half would tighten it up substantially.
Yeah, definitely a good feeling going into halftime after scoring a big goal on a power play, but unsuccessful though so far. They're 0 for 2. Back over to that right side, tried a little low bouncer there, but the Aussies able to find that one as Dennis. Lucas Wood tried to come streaking off the bench there as they were quick to change. Dennis doing it all himself. Off the boards there, Reynolds able to hold on. Now goes inside. Reynolds off that pass there. A good shot attempt from Lucas Wood.
Quick releases. Wood was able to catch that in traffic. He had a defender, Nicholas D'Amico, all over him.
And look at this forecheck shorthanded from Australia. But leaving that backside open, O'Sullivan to Gillis. What a quick retreat and recovery from the Australians.
Yeah, it was Toby Templeton just racing back.
One shot there, short side, why not? And that's a big one for the Irish.
Luke Coppinger with that blast, and it looks, honestly, we talked about Templeton racing back, what a good job he did, but it feels like the Australian penalty kill group was a little bit in flux, like they never really got settled into their space, into what they wanted to be doing. They're kind of constantly getting to recover instead of being set and being able to come out, and that may have been an issue opening things up there for Coppinger.
A violation, so the Aussies will pick up the ball. Bell is so quick off the face-off, often kind of getting this Irish team to jump early. Plum, under a minute to go in the first half. Australia still with a 2-goal margin. Plum sends that over to Wood, who cranks one from the outside. Shanahan up to Stahl. Winning heavy pressure on him. They've got to hurry up to get it over center. And a good forecheck from Australia as they're trying to maybe get a quick one here as they'll call a timeout.
Yeah, you get one per half. Yeah, they have. Australia's taken that timeout, have they not?
I think they actually pointed it to Ireland.
Intriguing. So had Australia picked the ball up, because you can actually take a timeout while the ball is loose on the floor, as long as the other team hasn't retained possession yet, if you had possession last.
Yeah, so maybe Ireland called it while they had possession earlier on. But yeah, the Australian coaching staff, I mean, the Aussies looked like they were going to call one anyways, but...
So who has possession, though?
Yeah, this is the interesting part, because I saw the referees wave over to the Irish bench to call that timeout, and it looks like they're chatting.
Members of the Irish women's team, including head coach Joe Hiltz there, with all of their players in the crowd, as the folks here are really enjoying what's going on. We're sure the crowds are going to grow and grow. You should get down here. If you are anywhere near Utica, New York, get down. It is going to be a fun final 4 days. This is day 6, right?
I know, it is day 6, Stephen.
Flying.
We're already halfway there, and just so much good lacrosse still on deck for us. So, yes, the Ireland offense is on the floor. Shanahan's still in the net. So it looks like they were the ones indeed who called the timeout. So a little bit of confusion there. But O'Sullivan will wait for the referee's go ahead.
I'd imagine Shanahan's going to follow O'Sullivan up the floor. No.
O'Sullivan working one-on-one, and yeah, it looks like Shanahan staying in the net, but able to get his defender to lose his stick, but still a great effort.
Dangerous to reach out and grab like that, but pretty solid work by Parsons.
Gets around his defender is Corbett. And there we go. Now the Aussies will use their timeout, and timely at that with 5.8 remaining.
Now, it'll be interesting to see. We have seen several times during the tournament a bit of time put back on the clock if the officials felt like they blew the whistle a little bit earlier than the clock stopped. And you can see that Adam Smith, the head coach for Australia, is saying, yeah, add a little bit of time to it. We'll see whether that happens.
Yeah, great call nonetheless. As again, timeouts do not carry over, so you got to use them while you have them. You get one per half here. So we'll see what the Australian offensive coaches can draw up to try to extend their lead to 3 going into halftime.
It doesn't look like they're adding any time, so that's going to make it very challenging for the Aussies to get the length of the floor. This time we're quite sure that Jeffrey will stay on the bench, and they'll get 6 attackers. So with 5.8 seconds, you're really looking probably to throw the ball ahead rather than trying to run it up, which you could do with a few more seconds of time.
Oh, definitely. The old saying, the ball moves faster than your feet, is definitely going to show true here if they can kind of push that pace going up the floor. So again, 5.8 remaining. And the Australians will have to start with it down back kind of towards their own goal. And yes, Jeffrey will stay in the bench. So Winnan looks like the man to go grab the ball from the referee. And yeah, look for kind of a quick cut maybe to come help him out.
And a couple of the Irish players were heading down the floor and then were called back. Just cover the guys down here. Let him start with it.
Yeah, smart move as Winnen's got to be on his horse here. Winnen, 2 seconds to go. He's going to have to let one fly. On target, but no good, and that will do it. For the opening half, Australia maintains a 2-goal lead, 5-3 over Ireland. Stephen Stamp, Mackie Jenner with you. We will be right back in a few minutes to break down everything that went on in the first half.
Every player knows the skills you learn on the field can be the foundation for anything you choose to do in life.
Thank you for connecting me to a greater community.
We're growing beyond goals on the field.
And our futures are united.
So thank you, Lacrosse,
for inspiring me to be me.
We are better,
safer,
and wiser together.
And we're building a stronger future
for everyone.
Right in the very center of upstate New York, there's a region that's bustling with new opportunity, state-of-the-art industry, education, and innovation, with history, world-class cuisine, and new and exciting things to do.
Welcome to Oneida County.
This is Oneida County, New York, and we're just getting started.
From our unique origins to the modern game, the global lacrosse community has been preparing for this moment. Together, we step into a new chapter of growth, competition, unity, and inspiration for the next generation. At the Olympic Games in Los Angeles, we continue growing together. A new era of lacrosse starts now.
Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to the WLBC. It is 5-3 in favor of Australia at the half over the Irish in this play-in to the quarterfinals. And we're going to see how the Australians have got out to this lead. And it really comes with some early sharpshooting from Jesse Winnen. That's him in the middle, number 12, or sorry, that's number 2, him coming off the bench. He'll just let it fly, goes low on the first one. And then he's going to change that up with this power play marker about to come up, as he will go absolutely top shelf on this rip. They liked what happened there, so Chris Plum is going to go on the theme of shooting high. He'll slip into the middle. There he is, and from a very similar spot, pulls it back to the other top corner. And the Aussies out to a 3-0 lead in 8 minutes. They continue to roll. This time, it's Tyler Reynolds and just nobody picking him up. They give him way too much space, and Reynolds rips that one home. It's 4-0 through the first quarter. All the goals for the time being going to the right here. That continues as Patrick Corbett gets in tight and gets that one home on the twister. And finally, the other twine is going to feel the sting of a ball as Winnen gets underneath, and it's more the nestle of a ball than the sting as he just bounces that one home 5-hole. Corbett will return the favor. You can see him, number 42, slipping in again. A little slip pick, and just nobody picks him up. He gets inside for his second straight goal in tight. And then the Irish will get one more as they find Luke Coppinger with some space. And that's been a very popular spot, that shooter spot on the right side there for both teams, loading it up there to make it 5-3. And this is, again, the winner of this team will go on tomorrow to face the United States. That's a 7 o'clock quarterfinal number 3, and that is a huge, huge opportunity for these teams. That is the kind of thing they are looking for when they start in this tournament. They are hoping to get to play against the big teams. They know it'll be a big challenge. They know their chances of victory at that point are very low, but they're thrilled to get there, and it means you're in the top 8 in the world. The Australians, having finished 9th last time, are very keen to get back to that top 8 that has really been their habitual residence over the last several World Lacrosse Box Championships. So we'll see if the Irish can get back. They do have a little bit of momentum building as they have gotten 3 of the last 4 goals, as it was 4-0 for Australia and then a 3-1 second quarter for the Irish. So they have some momentum behind them. The Irish are going to come out to see if they have a bunch of jump, especially since the Irish have played 3 goals, or the Aussies have played 3 games, and the Irish 4. We'll be back to the WLBC right after this.
Welcome back inside the Adirondack Bank Center. Mackie Jenner along with Steven Stamp. Australia out to a 5-3 lead over Ireland. If you are the Irish, what sort of things do you have to do to kind of change the tide here and get this one to kind of swing in your court?
I mean, it feels like they've been doing that. They've got it rolling in their court, rolling in their direction. So probably just more of the same. And if you're the Australians, I think you want to get back to what was working early, but it's hard to tell what that is. They talk about their systems, but it's a very interesting free-flowing system that they have. We were discussing off air that the last couple of games, we've been talking so much about the types of picks and the types of seals, the types of plays they're running. The Australians seem to have a certain looseness to the way that they approach offense.
Yes, it's very free-flowing. They have a ton of speed, and that really helps them. And they come out of the corner really quickly. They're able to kind of bring that ball out and around the entire perimeter. They also whip the ball around. We've seen a lot of kind of special teams from both sides of the ball here too. But again, both netminders also having really good starts. We've seen some very low-scoring games today, as this one only 5-3 right now.
Yeah, I mean, that would have both teams at 10 goals or less if that pace keeps up. And after some of the pyrotechnics we've seen on the scoreboards earlier in the tournament, especially from these teams, other than than Ireland's 7-5 opening win against Germany. These teams have really been putting up a lot of goals, but that does tend to be something you see, of course, as they get up against the tougher competition and, not the teams that are still way more in the developmental phase.
Absolutely. And again, now these teams really starting to be tested as a great kind of battle between two teams that, again, were very dominant in their own pools respectively. But we're so excited to bring back second half action in just a few short moments here on ESPN Plus and TSN Plus. We'll see you then. Well, both teams have hit the floor, and the Irish faithful cheering them on as, again, we saw a hot start for the Aussies, a 4-0 lead after the first quarter, but then the Irish have kind of clawed all the way back into this one. Still a 2-goal lead for the Australians, but the Irish really trying to claw their way back in this one.
And we saw some of the fans, both teams with pretty solid emotion from their fans. I have to admit, we have long days and a lot of games. There's so much going on. At one point, I saw one of the Aussie fans standing up, and I swear I thought it was a Michael Jackson moment where they were waving their baby up over their head. It's a stuffed kangaroo. It's okay.
I know. They have all of those stuffed kangaroos everywhere. They're putting in the seats, filling out the crowd, the seats here with inflatable kangaroos. Nonetheless, here we go for second half action. And a delayed penalty already being issued towards the Irish. A shot there. Shanahan comes out of his crease, still kind of bobbling for it. And the Aussies, a good little last-second play to keep possession, 20 on the shot clock, so they're going to get a 6-on-5 look here.
They've still only got 5 out there. They're just waiting to get somebody. They're a little surprised, I think, they got the ball back.
Yeah, seriously. Armbazzi sends it over to Winnan. Tried to make a flip pass underneath to Carter. But finally, it will be blown down. So immediately, we see a power play for the Aussies. We've got another look at this one, Stephen.
Yeah, it's a holding the stick call, and it's not too hard to make when you rip the stick right out of your opponent's hands and then toss it aside, as happened right there with Sean Gibson.
Yeah, some calls closer than other ones, but, making the refs' lives a little easier with that call is, as you mentioned, very obvious.
And Gibson, a veteran of this club, he's done so much for lacrosse in Ireland. He got his cap, his 100th cap this week, and was feted by World Lacrosse here at the tournament. And he has shifted in his later days of his career here from an offensive role that he primarily played to transition, and they're very happy with the way he's been playing out the back door.
Again, you've got these guys that can kind of be Swiss Army knives, play all over the floor, and it's so great to see them, even in so much veteran experience, they're still kind of able to find new levels and new ceilings. Now the power play will be active here for the Aussies. Back to Winnan now. Armbatsis play pass around the perimeter a little bit. Carter goes in to set that seal. Armbatsis back over to Winnan, and a shot blocked there from O'Gorman. Winnan, and that one will go, and oh my goodness, 4 from almost identical spots as he just kind of walks that one off casually.
Yeah, Jesse Winnan, he does make it look very simple, getting late in the shot clock, and it just comes rolling back to him. He has a little trouble picking it up. Has about 3 tries to pick it up, and then just skips it, and that looks like it may be screened. As you can see on that replay, it looks like it may have actually gone through the legs of the Irish defender, making it pretty tricky for Shanahan to get a good look at it.
4 goals for the Australian captain, just having an absolute day out here. As Templeton, that one picked off from Pat Smith.
I just want to make a correction because I called him the captain earlier. I get thrown off by the little
logo
on the jersey. It looks like you see Chris Plum is actually the captain.
Okay.
And I led you down the garden path on that one. That's Plum with the captain with the ball now.
Now we know, number 12 with the C on his chest for real.
But just look at that little thing that they have, the Australian Lacrosse logo on the left chest.
Yeah. Wood now working inside. Armbatsis is looking to kind of seal his defender. A good look there. Almost would have wanted to see that extra pass made. Armbatsis is around and hits the post with the behind-the-back effort.
Bounces straight out to the Irish defender. What a chance. As again, it didn't look like early on there was much there. Then all of a sudden, 2 really good looks late in that shot clock.
Again, just taking advantage of the way that this Irish defense is playing. Able to get looks from all over the floor. Now Ireland going back to work. Swings it to the near side. Kelly flips it back. There, O'Sullivan tried to take that shot. Check that. Brosnan. Going back, another behind-the-back effort, this time from the Irish in Corbett. Brosnan still serving. Gets that one to Coppinger. Has a goal here this evening. 10 on the shot clock. Will wind up that one again, just wide. Rebound collected, second chance, but a blocked shot from Australians defense. A big stick check coming from Corbett right in the middle, but a shot clock violation, as we kind of mentioned earlier on. This kind of working, kind of not.
Yeah, and it's interesting, the Irish offense so different than the Australian offense. We've talked about the free-flowingness of the Australians. Much more structure you see from the Irish. You see the plays, the designs, the picks as they're developing.
A great check coming from Michael McDonald, as now he's kind of squaring up his defender. Sets a last-second pick before he goes off for a change. O'Sullivan with it now.
Pretty good job by McDonald as he was all alone out there for a while and just stayed calm.
Now the lefty's going to work. Body's kind of hitting the floor. Delayed penalty again, but 5 to shoot. Bouncer goes over top, and that will bounce into the stick of Farrell, but a shot clock violation. So now we see the Irish power play. They've 1 for 3 so far.
And Corbett has been critical to them. He has a pair of their goals and an assist on the other one by Luke Coppinger. So he has been central to everything they've done, and he looks like he's going to start up at the top as they go strong right. And we'll see if Corbett, if they try to work him down low, starting up top, see what kind of inversion they run, because he has been very successful getting inside.
Corbett starting things off at the top. Now the lefties back up to Corbett, now to Coppinger. Playing pass back and forth. Now a little bit of play action happening. A shot from the outside. Landell's able to collect that one in the crease.
Circles around the net and runs into some space. And immediate pressure, though, from the Irish, getting right up. I love seeing that when you're on the power play. Go and get after it.
Absolutely, and you heard the Irish defender saying double, double. That means go out and send two to try to pressure the ball carrier.
And they get out on Jesse Winnan because he's the last guy you want to leave with some space.
Armbatsis trying to get a step. Will send one on target. He does, but that one just bounces right into the stick of Dan O'Gorman.
Big rebound there, came flying out, but the Aussies wisely had gotten their players off the floor to get some defenders out.
Carrying the ball now is O'Sullivan, directing traffic. Corbett back up to the top in Coppinger. Still trying to get something. Corbett left all alone inside. Rebound attempt. That will go for Corbett.
And that answers our question about whether they're going to try and work him inside, as they definitely do. You can see him go to the shooter spot and then slip through the middle. Misses the shot completely. And we talk often about a shot off the backboards makes it so difficult for the defenders who have to turn and look for it. But the Aussies actually were in a pretty good position to go ahead and look at that. Just nobody boxed Corbett out. I mean, nobody picked him up in the first place. And it's a pretty easy putback for him.
A hat-trick marker for Corbett, as, again, this Irish team just trying to claw back. And this time a violation will go towards the Aussies. So Ireland, another opportunity here to maybe capitalize on a little bit of a back-to-back on offense. Surveying from that left side, finds Foley. Foley gets in the alley, takes a quick shot there, but misses wide.
Took a big bump, but willing to pay the price to get that shot off.
Gillis now back over to Foley. Again, Body's trying to crash and bang. 5 on the shot clock. Gillis right back to O'Sullivan. Cranks that one. Count it for number 4, and he's fired up.
He is absolutely celebrating after that rocket. And you asked what the Irish need to do to get back into this. Well, continuing, as we said, to create opportunities to shoot is a huge part of it. And that one, a beautiful little change of direction to get it over to the other side. And he is trying to get all of Ireland backing them with that celebration.
2 straight now for Ireland, but Templeton, and we know he can run. Templeton tried to find an answer, but Shanahan comes up big with that stop, and that's a huge one in terms of momentum.
And big for Ireland that Shanahan has turned the corner since a couple of those early goals. Some of those he'd probably want back, as you always do, but he definitely is looking much more settled.
Gillis carrying on that left side. Again, waiting for the rest of his offense. 15 on the shot clock here. Brosnan back down to Gillis, surveying. Finds Corbett trying to come around the corner, tucks under the alley, still with it now. Flips that one, but a blocked pass. 2 on the shot clock, and another good kind of set there for Australia.
I think the Irish may have been hoping for a tripping call there, but I mean, you are responsible, even if it's not intentional. You're responsible if you trip someone up, but I mean, the shot clock's about to expire. They just got tangled up. I think that's a good no call.
As an Irish defender without a stick, so we'll see if the Aussies can capitalize.
How about Ryan Landell's just barging his way through a whole bunch of checks?
Screaming for it on that far side, trying to find around, but a good defensive shift there from Shea. Pops it inside to Winnan. Someone you don't want to leave alone, but Shanahan screaming to get that ball passed and out of that danger zone.
Oh, that's a tough pass to handle.
Gillis comes away with it, but a little bit of chaos ensuing in front of Shanahan, and he was trying to direct traffic.
You can almost hear the Irish taking a breath after that shift.
10 on the shot clock now. Gillis out of the corner. And a moving pick. But we're going to now enter our third media timeout. Man, this game is flying. Australia still a 1-goal lead of 6-5 over Ireland. We will be right back for the rest of quarter 3 action. Coming up here, you're watching World Lacrosse Box Championships.
In 2001, AIS set out with a vision to secure the future of cyberspace, empowering businesses, citizens, and our country to thrive in a connected world. Every day, our experts advance cybersecurity for areas like AI, healthcare, and autonomous transportation, delivering on our promise of a secure future. Discover how AIS can support you And if our promise inspires you, join our team. Advance your mission with AIS.
Hey, fans. For all the up-to-the-minute news on the UFX, go to the official website of Urban Fitness Extreme at ufxpro.com. Keep up with all your favorite teams and athletes. Get your tickets for upcoming events and check out our broadcast schedule. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at UFX League for behind-the-scenes access and exclusive content. Visit ufxpro.com and follow us today.
And here we go, just like that, 7:37 remaining here in this third quarter. Mackie Jenner here alongside Steven Stamp. And we were expecting a good game. Australia, again, with that tough 4-0 lead after the first quarter, but it has been tight ever since that.
It really has, and here we have the 7th seed in Australia against the number 10 seed in the Irish, and that is not a big gap. All those teams tend to be pretty closely bunched.
Wood now working with Armbatz is on that corner, swings it over, trying to get a step around his defender, goes airborne, was Plum. But Shanahan, a good stop there on that near side post. Here comes Ireland the other way closely. Got to be careful of that center line to prevent an over and back, but Brosnan able to do so. Now Foley swings it back over to Corbett, who's got 3. Gillis working out of the corner as he often does. A nice little swing pass there was Coppinger.
Pretty good look for Coppinger, but Jeffrey saw it all the way. No traffic in front.
Hockey caught that on his wrong side. He'll just send a subber on target.
That was really funny to see because he had somebody coming and checking him as he's flipping that over. How do you manage that? But of course, you don't have to. Oh,
Gillis with the rebound. My goodness, a bit of a track meet here. Stephen, our necks are going to get sore going back and forth.
And I was going to say for hockey, if you just catch it in the right side in the first place, you don't have to worry about it. But by the time I'm getting that out, they're already down the other end. Now the Aussies back into their offensive zone.
Matt Wood sends it to Armbatsis back over to that right side. Been so active here. Wood tried to connect on the inside there to Reynolds, just couldn't quite get it to go.
Yeah, and the Wood brothers, Lucas and Matt, with 25 and 20 and 18 points between them, but they've really been quite quiet tonight.
They have. They've definitely depended a lot on Winnan, obviously leading the scoring for them with 4. Gillis directing traffic, finds Foley. Rolls back to the inside, tiptoes around the crease, but they'll say he stepped in. Templeton able to carry this one over center quite easily as he denies that check there from Smith. Now back to Plum, the captain indeed for the Aussies.
Again, apologies.
No, I mean, I thought so too. Plum swings it back to Armbatsis. Thought about going underneath, tries to swing that one. Able to hold on was Plum around. And a great pickup for him in the middle there as the Irish defenders try to break that one up.
Yeah, Mike Shea had tipped that one away. It did go back to the Aussies. And I'll tell you, Mike Shea, a veteran who had said before this year that he wasn't sure if he had another one in his body. With his, he's got his family, he's got his little girls. You know that they're watching, so a shout to the Shea family, but he is playing very well.
Thought about that shot, and there it is. Luke Coppinger, his second, and he just picked that corner.
And that is just very similar to the celebration we saw last time from Brendan Farrell, and it's a pretty similar shot. And you can see a couple of tiny hitches, no big fakes, just kind of hanging on, waiting, almost as the Australians are coming across. They're almost taking themselves out of the play as they kind of rush out to try and get after him. 3
straight goals for this Ireland offense, and yeah, that stick work and that fakes, getting your defenders to jump, just great stuff from Coppinger.
3 straight goals and 5 of the last 6 for the Irish.
What a run.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Australians trying to find an answer. The Wood brothers working together on that left side, been fairly quiet as mentioned though. Plum Now to Carter. Carter working in on his defender. Out to Wood, a lengthy shot. Shanahan knows he can see the ball well from that range. Now Gillis. O'Sullivan. Trying to find some help there, and he does. Back to O'Sullivan. Such a quarterback from that left side corner to O'Sullivan. Thought about a jumper. Now Brosnan heavily defended by Dennis, and he was a man that in the game I called earlier this week for Australia, again, you don't mention a ton of defenders' names often, but man, he is just a lockdown D guy.
Yeah, and it's good, obviously, when you're not talking too much about defenders because they're not getting beaten. And he is not a guy who's going to run the floor a bunch, but boy, he is doing a job in his own end.
Now back over to this Australian offense. Been quiet as of late. Takes a man inside there, but good defense. And just like that, going the other way. Corbett all alone. Trying to tiptoe around the crease. He does. But it's waved off. They're going to say he stepped in the crease.
Wow, we'll have to see if we get another look at this one as Corbett has been lethal in tight. Not going to have time as they're immediately going. Oh, here we go. You see Corbett going from all the way well outside the restraining line, all alone. And oh, yeah. Yeah.
Good call by the officials there. Again, the Woods working on that left side. Finds Winnan all alone, and how's that for an answer? As the Australians get back on top as Winnan, his 5th tally of the afternoon.
Waved off at one end, but this one will count at the other end, the horizontal line to make it 5 as Jesse Winnan, a great pick, and then the roll out. And we've talked about the free flow of their offense, but that was very traditional. Set the seal, get yourself open, and take the pass.
And that is a huge momentum builder for Australia. As mentioned, that goal not counting on the back end, and that is exactly how you want to respond, capitalize, use that momentum. It can be a huge dagger and deflating experience there for those goals to kind of come back, and those can haunt you as well. Looking forward here as Australia now another 1-goal lead.
That was an interesting face-off because Nathan Bell was clamped and picking the ball up before the big whistle had even gone, as Sean Gibson didn't even move.
Yeah, Bell very good at the face-off, but that one going the way of the Irish. Gillis back to O'Sullivan, left alone. That one will count for number 4. And my goodness, we've got a dandy right in front of our eyes, Stephen.
We've talked about how the teams that have played the extra game have had some trouble later in the games, but the Irish seem to be energized late in this one. Oh, they're the ones who've only played 3. There you go. Maybe it is the Aussies having played the 4th game, getting a little bit fatigued. Fatigue results in physical but also mental errors, and that is just way too much space to give him cutting into the net.
Yeah, absolutely no defenders coming towards number 4 and chasing that loose ball, but well picked up there from Jameson Stahl. Now back up to McDonald. Under 2 to go here in the 3rd quarter. All tied up here at 7th. Foley finds a man streaking off the bench, just couldn't quite connect as he was left wide open. Again, still trying to dictate outside is Gillis. Tried to look for that cross crease to Foley, it tipped, so they'll get a reset. Foley carrying it out of the corner. Takes a step around shot there. That one swallowed up by Jeffrey, and that's a big one.
The Australians really like to get out with their defense pressure, get out on their men. It does leave some solo, some isolation matchups, which the Irish have been kind of exploiting a little bit lately.
Now Wood carrying on that left side, swings it over to Winnan. He's had the hot hand, and oh my goodness, 6 goals for Jesse Winnan.
Came into this game with 12, and he has put another sock trick up. And this is just, there are times when a shooter is just absolutely feeling it, and you can see he seems to think that's going in from the time he decides to shoot it.
And that was such a great effort in that trail check there from Nicholas D'Amico, but such a heads-up play from Winnan to get that shot off in time. Back to the face-off we go. Another good battle, but Bell picks that one up. And Panting notices he's on his wrong side, finds Hockey, one more, cross crease! And oh my goodness, what a save from Shanahan.
Falling to his backside in the left hand, he throws it up and just bounces it and gets enough on it to get it to go up and over the crossbar, because that looked like it was in danger of falling back in.
Just stellar stuff from the netminder, as here comes Corbett the other way. Back over to Gillis. Again, that quarterback from that left side decides to take it on his own, and he'll make it count. Number 88 gets number 8 for Ireland.
And the Irish have this celebration that they are all doing with those dual pumping low arms, but that is just a rocket on the run, and you can see Jeffrey is going to his left. That's a very deceptive shot from Brian Gillis, as he looks like he's going to pull it back across the body and just kind of pushes through with that top hand to keep from snapping it across.
Under 20 to go remaining here in this third quarter. Ireland able to come up with that face-off.
Jeff Dowling elects to hold his timeout for the fourth quarter.
Yeah, not a bad move the way that we've been going. They'll try to go 6-on-5 for the remaining 5 seconds if they can get their 6th attacker out of there. Finds alone there, but a good stop, and that will do it for the third quarter. You will not want to miss the final 15 minutes here. Australia and Ireland tied at 8. We will be right back for fourth quarter action.
Every player knows the skills you learn on the field can be the foundation for anything you choose to do in life.
Thank you for connecting me to a greater community.
We're growing beyond goals on the field.
And our futures are united.
So thank you, Lacrosse.
For inspiring me to be me.
We are better,
Safer.
And wiser together.
And we're building a stronger future
For everyone.
From our unique origins to the modern game, the global lacrosse community has been preparing for this moment. Together, we step into a new chapter of growth, competition, unity, and inspiration for the next generation. At the Olympic Games in Los Angeles, we continue growing together. A new era of lacrosse starts now.
Well, Stephen, it comes down to this. 8-8 your score, a back and forth battle in that third quarter. My goodness. What a way to end our lengthy day here at the Adirondack Bank Center.
It's been a great day. I mean, everyone's tired at this tournament, and you bring the world together. You don't have time to spread it out over a month. You're doing a lot of action for the players, the coaches, the officials, us, the crews, everybody. But it's 8-8, and it's so important because whoever wins this game will be in the final 8 of the tournament, and that is such a big difference for these teams. If they could finish as high as the gold medal. I don't think anybody thinks the winner of this is going to beat the U.S., but bigger surprises have happened. But if you lose this game, you're no higher than 9th. You could wind up 16th.
Exactly. We kind of talked about, again, setting realistic expectations heading into this tournament. And again, setting these goals to finish in the top 8. You have that opportunity. Why not? Here comes Australia. Plum on the near side has a goal for the Aussies. Now working in Back to Plum. Left side will go to work. 5 on the shot clock. Winning. Tried to go behind the back. Had some heat on it.
If he had scored that one for his 7th goal, I was going to lose it.
Oh, no kidding. Here comes the Irish. But again, Dennis going heavily into that corner. But a loose ball push. So Gillis will pick that one up in this left corner, which he operates so well out of.
What great effort from Ashby Dennis. He is just rising in my eyes as this tournament goes on.
Such a great lockdown defender. As O'Sullivan ran through the crease, so he's not going to be able to take over that one. Gillis, once again, spins around his defender, gets his hands free, takes a shot, trickles. And Jeffrey careful to swallow that one up.
Patrick Brosnan was picking his stick up, and he dropped it and landed in the crease, and he was so careful to keep his toes out of the crease as he reached in to pick his stick up.
And here comes Australia hot off the bench, but Shanahan says no to Lucas Wood. Right back the other way, a bit of a track meet as goalie's going toe for toe.
And that was the other Shanahan, Seamus Shanahan, with a great chance there. Jeffrey was actually kind of falling back towards his line. That was very close to getting over the line, even though it was in his gear.
Oh, yeah. Shanahan family very familiar with this game as Wood winds up. My goodness, talk about peaking at the right time, scoring at the right time. Matt Wood.
The Woods are silent no more. Another downtown shot. And look at the power he generates as he pivots on that lead foot, driving the hips around. You can see where that power comes from, and that is a beauty into that top corner.
Just under 2 minutes into the final frame, Australia gets their first tally of the quarter. And a great response as the last goal, the tying goal from the Irish, came right at the tail end of that third quarter. Landel slips it up to Reynolds. Swings that one to the backside. 15 to go on the shot clock here. Carter back to Reynolds. Reynolds trying to find some help there as Australia will send a guy early to the bench to avoid any sort of transition. Maybe a smart move there from the Aussies.
It felt again like the Australians standing around a bit on the offense, not a lot of darting, not a lot of movement. And again, that can be a sign of some fatigue late in this tournament, late in this game.
Foley carries that one all the way around the crease and finds Corbett. Corbett right back down to Foley. Stutter step move inside, flips that pass off behind the back. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Patrick Corbett. My goodness. What a goal.
We talked about winning the one he ripped at the other end. It was well off target, though. This could not be prettier or more precise. And he's getting hit as he does it. Ashby Dennis bounces out onto him. And look at the body control that Corbett has here as he takes this lovely shovel pass, and he knows exactly what he's doing as he's being forced past the crease around to the other side by his momentum there.
That was absolute filth from Corbett. And quite the tying marker here for the Irish. And now Australia head back to try and tie things up. Get the lead once again. Wood flips it to Armbots, is on that left side. Back over to the righties who will go to work. Plum. Winning. 10 on the shot clock. See how spread out this Australian offense is. Trying to penetrate that middle is Wood, but kept outside. And a great defensive set there from the Irish, as you kind of mentioned. Not a whole lot of movement.
Yeah, and if the Aussies aren't going to be flying around, the Irish fairly happy to just stay between them and the net and keep an eye on where the passes could be coming from.
Gillis. O'Sullivan gets a step around his defender. Sends it to Maloney. Back over to that right side. A picked off pass here from Australia. And here comes Muxlow, one to beat. Will crank that one, tried to go short side, could not get it to go.
Nice little burst of acceleration from Muxlow.
Yeah, it doesn't get a time up on the front side of the ball here. A lot of yelling from the crowds as Mullins very late to get up. I didn't see that check go into the corner, but nonetheless, here comes the Irish. Corbett with it out of that corner to Foley. Mullins now heavily pressuring Corbett. On his wrong side was Foley. Corbett. And that will be a shot clock violation.
Another pretty decent look for the Irish as the Aussies do still have that sense where they come way out in defense, really getting out to their guys. And it does open up some space. The Irish trying to take advantage of that by spreading their O and then just sending cutters either with or without the ball.
Plum working on that righty side over to Lucas Wood. Now Armbotsis finds Wynn in one hand, tries a twister, but that one will go up and out of bounds. Now Maloney carries over center. Gets past his defender underneath, will circle back out of trouble and flips it to Gillis. O'Sullivan now with it on that far side. Corbett tried to find a feed over the top there, but just a tough bounce. And here comes Australia, Lucas Parsons.
What a chance for Parsons. Australia will get the ball back. You know, at the other end, it looked like Corbett was actually popping open for a moment, and I think his teammate just didn't think the lane was there, but...
Yeah, a little bit too much heat on that pass. Wood trying to find an option out of the corner as he's surveying. Looks for Reynolds, a little give and go. That'll go for 44. Tyler Reynolds, his second marker.
And they sent Chris Plum around behind the back. You see Plum right there at the top of the crease. He is now gone behind the back. You see Mike Shea is drawn by that. And again, just popping open. And that is just getting his man beat, just beating his man. As again, late in the game, you see that head turn. As soon as that Irish head turned, he was gone.
Yeah, that backdoor cut can be so lethal when the guy throwing the ball to you has that vision as they did. So again, Australia goes up by 1 here, 9:19 remaining here in the final frame of regulation time. Now Corbett sends it down into the corner. Coppinger back over to the lefties, Gillis. Again, trying to find some help, swings it back over there. Rebound collected, 2 in a row for Jeffrey. And here comes Hockey. Could not hold on as Shanahan runs onto that ball, showing off his stick skills a little behind the back pass.
Look, Hockey was so far behind the defense, so far out of the zone with nobody near him. And they maybe a little bit too much on the pass. He had the time to just float it out there. But
here comes Gillis, finds O'Sullivan on the doorstep. But Jeffrey kind of coming at clutch here in these last second shots.
Definitely making some big saves.
Plum. Playing pass back and forth with Reynolds. Coming off the bench is Carter off his wrong side. A bit of a tricky shot. Is not sure how much time was on the shot clock as it's not really working. But nonetheless, the Irish get into their offensive zone.
I don't see one of the officials counting, so maybe they've got someone in the scorer's box keeping track. It just went to 0, and they're trying to get it going again.
And that brings us to our 4th and final media timeout. Australia, 1-goal lead, 10-9 over Ireland, and we will be right back. You're watching World Lacrosse Box Championships here on ESPN+.
It's your turn to be the spin doctor, the game changer, and the hit maker. Because with all the award-winning gaming, dining, and entertainment Turning Stone has to offer, you can be whoever you want to be, especially when you want to be out with your crew. Turning Stone Resort Casino. It's your turn.
We honor our Indigenous roots and international history. Lacrosse is more than a game. We play with speed, heart, and precision. Young, modern, electric, inclusive, growing across the globe. Lacrosse is everyone's sport, governed globally by World Lacrosse.
And just like that, 7 minutes and 48 seconds remaining as the shot clock's officials just kind of testing the waters here with that shot clock. As Steven, we've kind of seen this be a little bit of a factor in the last few games as of late.
And they have been trying to run the shot clock down repeatedly during timeouts, during the media timeouts, during team timeouts, just to use it to help keep track of the time. And that's been a bit of a challenge as well because it really has been inconsistent.
Yeah, and it can be so tricky again for this offense. If they've got kind of set plays where, you know, getting down to the wire, their coaches are like, okay, 10 to 12 seconds, let's kind of start that motion. It's hard to tell how much time's left on that shot clock, and especially when you're depending on these officials' voices. So,
Adam Smith, the head coach for the Aussies, is having a chat with the officials. Assistant coach Wade Hammond up there as well. A little shout out to his one and only girlfriend, Callie, the love of his life. Apparently in an earlier game this week, I said one of Wade Hammond's girlfriends. I swear I didn't, but they all say
Steven,
I did.
The rumor mill's starting here in Utica, my goodness.
Callie, it's only you. I met Callie in 2015 in Onondaga, and she gave me such a hard time because I would say Carly, and she's like, Carly? I'm like, here, you're the one who sounds a little funny. But no, Callie is a beauty, and she is back in Oz watching, I'm sure.
Oh, that is too funny.
Yeah.
Well, here come the Irish on offense, looking for an answer here as Australia, again, that 1-goal lead. Right in the inside was Coppinger.
Great chance for Coppinger, just got a little steep on the high to low.
And there's the shot clock violation, no call there, as I thought maybe a hold.
Yeah, I mean, you actually could have seen the rare hooking call on that one, especially as the stick got kind of up under the neck.
Yeah.
I guess it's tough because Corbett was falling. So maybe that helped the stick get up high, but it sure looked like it was something.
Wood gets a hitch around his defender. That one will go for 5. As now Matt Wood feeling the love on offense.
Yeah, we were talking about the Woods being pretty quiet in this game, and now they are starting to find their range. And you can see a couple of picks for the Australians, especially his brother Lucas, creating some space to let Matt just let that one rip.
A great find there for Wood, as again that shot clock was kind of trickling down, and now the Australians a 2-goal lead. The first time they've been up by 2 since early in that second quarter.
And we didn't have a tie until 6-6, and then we were tied at every goal up to 9. So this is the first time we haven't had a team respond since that 6-6 point.
Yeah, it's been very back and forth. As again, Matt Wood feeling it as he tries to get around his defender. He does. He lets that one fly, but a bouncer, a little bit too much heat on that one. Here comes the Irish. Up the other way is Pat Smith. He'll flip it to Foley, the man behind him.
That doesn't look like it says Smith on his jersey either.
Now Gillis, that left corner, a spot he loves to operate from. Swings it over to that right side now. Trying to find a man inside. He does. How's that for an answer? Luke Coppinger, his hat-trick marker, and a big one at that.
What a perfect pass to lead Coppinger as he was facing out towards the pass coming. And you'll see as it's flung over there, there's Coppinger looking right at the man who's passing it to him and leads him perfectly. So he's actually spinning into the shot as the ball is coming towards him. Made it so easy for him to get it off, but he has to be very accurate. Finds it far in the corner.
Back off to the face-off. Bell gonna get called for a loose ball push there as he was kind of on the back there.
The Irish, it's like we said, we've seen ties from 6-6 to 9-9. There wasn't one at 10-10. The Irish would love to get back to the tying.
Gillis Swinging that one across. Back there, trying to go 2 for 2 there was Coppinger. They go right back to him. Broston unable to kind of find that shot, but still lots of time to work with, 23 on the shot clock. He'll go. Says, do not wait for me. I'll take it myself. Luke Coppinger, back-to-back goals. And you called it, Steven. Here we are, all tied up at 11.
And Coppinger is heating up. You can tell he feels this one. Goes dead overhand. You see all kinds of shots from all different angles, but that is still the tried and true, the absolute perfection of the dead overhand.
Coppinger been so good in this game in clutch moments. Still battling for it on that near side boards. Templeton trying to come away with it. But Foley falling to the ground there, still battling. Finally, Foley finds that on the near side boards. All alone is Foley. Try to twist her there.
He landed hard in the creases. He was fully extended and completely horizontal.
Yeah, he'll head gingerly off to the bench there. But the Irish still with possession is Gillis. Brian Gillis. Closely watched by Templeton. Maloney able to hold on to that one as we've seen him out the front door a little bit more here. Corbett flips back inside. Coppinger tried to go 3 for 3.
The hot guy early. Corbett gets it to the hot guy late, but Coppinger can't repeat it.
And the put-back goal. My goodness. O'Sullivan.
Wow. O'Sullivan just about flat to the turf. You can see they get this bouncing loose ball. That hard rip. And he's, maybe in the crease. Wouldn't mind taking another peek at that to see where those toes are.
You know, by the Aussie. So maybe we're able to get another look at that.
What an effort, though, there by Brendan O'Sullivan to scoop up that loose ball. We talked about Thomas Hogarth earlier in the week for the Haudenosaunee. Sat out their first game, and they had a really tough game. It's not the only reason, but when he came back, he really gave a boost to their team with his inside work. And here we're going to see the same kind of thing coming from Brendan O'Sullivan. Is it a good goal? We'll see when we take a peek. Look at his toes. They're very close to the line as he is getting low to get it. There he is. Yeah, he's definitely the right toe and maybe the left as well.
Yeah.
Or did he get back out before he picked it up?
I think he may have gone back out before he actually gained possession of that ball. But again,
really close.
White shoes on white creases.
It's the way to go.
It is.
His shoes are a bit bright, though. They don't blend in enough with the fairly dull lines.
Yeah, absolutely. Now Ireland on top, 12-11. After 3 straight for Ireland.
And that's the first lead of the game for Ireland.
Yeah, and a huge one as time is ticking down. Under 5 minutes to go here. Gillis still operating out of that left corner. Swings it inside. But we're going to go the other way.
Through the crease and first to play it.
Tough bounce for the Irish offense, but now a time for Australia to try to get the tying goal. Plum swims over his defender. Plum still with that ball. 10 on the shot clock, up to Reynolds. Reynolds swings it over to Wood. Give and go there. We saw it work one time. That one not quite there.
They run out of time on the 30, and Mike Shea's going to stand there to make sure nothing weird happens, like possession given to the Aussies, but he is not about to play that ball. He knows what he is. Great player. He's a defender. He's going to let the O come out and try and extend this lead.
Gillis sends that one down into the corner, and he'll pick it back up. Now a little test inside, though, as you see the Australian defense starting to kind of pack it in a little bit more.
Muxlow is sprinting forward, but the Australians fairly slow here to get their offense out onto the floor. They've got just 16 to shoot and as they get that ball.
Wood has had quite the quarter himself. Back over to Carter. 5 to shoot. Gonna need something to go quickly. Reynolds, a great last second stick check there from D'Amico.
And that was looking dangerous as Reynolds tried to roll underneath.
Corbett sends it to Foley in that right corner. Corbett, things are starting to heat up here this evening. Sends it over to the left side, a little bit of heat on that pass. Gillis gets around his defender, he'll step into that one, and that one goes absolutely over the top, but a deflected shot at that, so they'll regain the ball.
And another 30 seconds that they can take away as we're under 2.5 to go.
Ireland working with those lefties is Gillis and Patrick Brosnan. Gillis sends it back over. Swim move over his defender is Corbett. Right back inside there, tried to have that little putback. Risky ball as Jeffrey able to corral that one.
And Ireland wanted a loose ball push behind the crease on that battle after Jeffrey did a great job fighting to get that possession, and the ref was having none of it. Said, nope, we're just going forward,
We're going.
Not behind the play.
No. Plum with the ball now on the right side. Still trying to find some help there. Plum will take it himself, but a good shoulder save there from Shanahan. We love to see Shanahan directing traffic out of the back end as he's kind of telling his defenders, okay, you got a man up there, make the easy pass, we don't need to risk it. As just over a minute to go here in the final frame, Ireland has that 1-goal edge, as you said, their first lead of the game, clawing all the way back. Gillis. Again, now Australia looking to kind of play a bit of a zone there, a little box and one formation, as you can see, trying to smother that inside. Gillis, he'll take a step back shot there, deflected again.
And that is huge as it goes off the Australian defender, because it gives Ireland another 30 they can let tick away. I'd imagine they'd use as much of it as they can and then try and get a reset, and they're definitely not in a rush. And I mean, if you're the Australians, they're coming in hockey, putting a bit of pressure on. Now you can see the Australians widening out, but boy, that's risky too.
Back up at the top, and it looks like a delayed penalty, so Shanahan gonna come off. And this is probably quite unfavorable for the Aussies here, as hockey is going to head to the penalty box.
Was that a boarding call?
Yes, indeed it was.
Curious where that happened. Hockey was the first one to race out after a defender, and boy, you couldn't have a much more ill-timed penalty for the Australians.
And look at this, you see Australia looking to pressure out right away. Again, they're kind of desperate lacrosse here. Gillis from the corner, 21 on the shot, or excuse me, on the clock. Corbett. Brosnan. Just playing pass around the perimeter as they're hoping to wind this one down. O'Sullivan. Gillis. And that will do it. Mount the comeback and the win for the Irish as they go rushing to their netminder. As what an absolute game we just witnessed. 12-11 victory for Ireland. We will be right back to wrap everything up here in just a few moments, but wow, what a win for the Irish. We'll be right back to break it all down. Back inside the booth for one last time here, Stephen and I with you. And let's just talk about the comeback that Ireland just put together to close that one out and move ahead here in this tournament.
I mean, Australia led or was tied in that game for 55 minutes and 18 seconds. And then the Irish on the Brendan O'Sullivan goal, the putback, very close on the crease, but looked like he was probably clean, but he puts it back, a huge finish to give them their first lead. And it's so important because, as we mentioned last time, both these teams finishing just outside the top 8. Australia 9th, Ireland 11th after they had met in the semifinal for the 9 through 12 group. Now Ireland knows they're going to be a top 8 team in the world.
Just incredible. And looking ahead now, we've got a few key matchups tomorrow, Stephen. So let's kind of talk about those ones.
Yeah, we have the quarterfinals get rolling, and that's going to start with a 10 a.m. game between Canada and Japan, and that's going to be fun. Here we see it's right up on the screen. Canada and Japan at 10 a.m. Then England and Czech at 1 p.m. The Haudenosaunee will be playing the winner of the Finland-Israel game that is about 40 minutes in right now in the 4 o'clock game, and then at 7 o'clock, the U.S. versus this Irish club at 7 p.m. So the Ireland, at least they get a chance to rest and recover from this one.
Yes, and all of those games going to be streaming on ESPN Plus in the States, and if you're north of the border, TSN Plus, and then for everywhere else on World Lacrosse TV. It has been so fun to be here with you all day long, calling some absolute dandies here in the Adirondack Bank Center. Stephen Stamp, Mackie Jenner, we are so happy to bring to you such great lacrosse, as you mentioned. Now teams that have not had the opportunity to finish in the top 8 are now going to be there starting tomorrow. A quick turnaround, but as these teams know, they have played a lot of lacrosse in the past few games, and we will catch you tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in from the Adirondack Bank Center.